Hello, I am Tara. I am a coach and spiritual teacher, owner of Courageously Living. And today I really wanted to talk about moving from grief to joy. If you've watched some of my daily videos, you know that they tend to skew more, toward joy. And I am not expecting everyone to be at joy. In fact, I would probably be pretty surprised if most people are. But here's what I've learned with dealing with grief, and I've dealt with a lot of grief in my life, and some of it have really put me into a kind of deep depression with kind of a fear on top of it. And so fear and grief and all those kind of emotions can definitely overlap, as can love and joy. But I do have a video on fear to love, and then this video is joy to grief. And one of the things that I always think is interesting is people are like, well, get over it. That happened. You lost a loved one 6 months ago. The election didn't go your way. Get over it. Yeah. From what I've found in my own life and from dealing with other people, that it doesn't work that way. And even the 7 stages or phases of grief, I think it's a great reference. People get a lot of use out of it. But there's also that then expectation that you have to hit all those stages kind of in that order. And you don't. Some people, might go from grief to being stuck for a couple days to acceptance to moving on. Some people might get stuck in angry. Some people may not even hit angry. So the way that I have seen a lot of stuff is people want that linear thing of this is where you are when you started to grieve, this is where you need to be. And in a straight line, and sometimes that arrow goes back and forth. I have created a different graphic that I'm posting up right here. And to me, this is a better representation of kind of moving in that grief space. And so I'm going to pause here. I'm going to put this up on the full screen so that you can take a screenshot of it if you would like. All right, now that you've got your screenshot of that, I really do want to talk to you about that chaos of that grief energy, because that is, I think, where a lot of people are. Now, did I feel grief after the election? Am I still kind of processing some stuff? 100%. What is different for me is that I've trained myself based on my prior experiences to start to move through things at a faster pace for me. Some people will be able to move through things faster. Some people, it's going to take more time. Wherever you are, it's okay. That is the bigger deal, is that you are acknowledging where you are. And that's really when I've worked with people, when I've kind of done stuff myself, there's 3 kind of main things that have helped me and have helped other people. And that first one is acknowledging your feelings. That's such an important part. I can't tell you in the past on how long I tried to suppress or hide or just ignore my actual feelings. So just acknowledging your feeling, your emotion right now, right this moment. Could it change in a couple hours? Sure, it can. And maybe it won't, but that's okay. And then number 2 is making time to feel that emotion. Maybe you are exhausted exhausted is a hard one because we want to keep going, or we have responsibilities that we have to keep going. But you've acknowledged you're exhausted. How can you do something little for yourself to help with your exhaustion? I can unfortunately guarantee you almost that exhaustion is not going to disappear in a day or maybe even a week. It's going to take time. But if you can do small things for yourself, that will help. So if you can go to bed 15 minutes earlier, even if you're just in your bedroom 15 minutes earlier, that can help. Maybe it is just sitting in your car for 5 minutes before you go into the office and just letting yourself be. Now, are those things going to completely fix your exhaustion? No. But you're acknowledging it and you're doing a little thing for it. That's what's going to start to kind of help move you forward in small incremental steps. We live in a society that we want to go from grief to joy and say, yeah, we're good. We don't like to do all those steps in between. And unfortunately, this is a time where you are going to have at least a few of those steps, most likely. And then the third thing that really helps is to do one thing during the day that kind of stretches you out of the space that you're in. And maybe that is just saying that you have gratitude for someone in your life or something in your life that you have gratitude for. Maybe you're grateful that you have a comfortable office chair. And maybe you do a gratitude for a week, that you just say one thing that you are grateful for. And maybe the next week you start to listen or watch an uplifting video. Even if you don't feel the same emotion where the video is. My daily videos are a great example of this. I definitely I try to record as much as I can from a place of joy and love so that you can feel that little bit more uplifting, even if you can't truly connect with that emotion at the time. That's okay. You're showing up for yourself. And that's the bigger deal, is you are showing up for yourself. You are starting to nurture yourself and saying, I think I do want to be in a different spot. And I don't totally know how to get there, and that's okay. And maybe you need to see a therapist, see a coach, get other resources. Depending on the grief, join a bereavement group. There are different things that can help you through things. I will admit I did not join a bereavement group when I was dealing with all of my grief. It was not something in my personality that I felt comfortable with or that would help me. And maybe it would have. Maybe it would have been a different thing. But you're giving yourself grace to do what you can in the moment you are there. And if that is waking up and making your tea and actually enjoying a little sip of it, then that's okay too. That's what you did to stretch today. So it really is just taking those small iterate steps And I know that's probably not sometimes what you want to hear because you want that quick solution. And I wish I could give it to you, and maybe somebody else can, in my experience and the people that I've worked with experience. It takes time. It takes connecting to yourself, being honest with yourself, feeling what you're feeling, and then slowly adding that one or two things into your day that are that little bit of a stretch for you. And maybe it is a stretch for you to smile, to just in general, not even at yourself. Just you're sitting at your desk and not even at anybody, but just to have you smile. I remember when I was really, really bad with my grief, I had done the mirror exercise and I had started to smile at myself. And I couldn't believe how much my muscles in my face hurt. That is how long I had gone without smiling. And I went, oh, this is bigger than I thought. And then I had to work on smiling so that I didn't feel like my muscles hurt, like I did a workout. So it is a process, and it can be a long process. And I know that so many of us have already gone through several years, several things in our own lives. We all collectively went through COVID. So there is a lot of grief out there. There's a lot of exhaustion out there. We're going to get through it one day at a time, one small thing doing. And it can take a while, and that's okay. All right, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you are giving yourself a hug. Your self hugs totally count as something small that you can do to kind of help make yourself expand to from where you are right now. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.